Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Business Octopus live stream where we talk about all things sales, marketing, and technology. I'm Avon Collis, CRM and Marketing Automation Specialist at Relevate, and today we're going to talk about choosing your technology partner. Now, we do these live streams every week at about this time, 8:30 on a Friday morning, and we just cover topics around digital transformation, business scale, growth, that sort of thing. So yeah, choosing a technology partner. Why is it important? Well, as you grow, like the small business tries to do everything themselves. The business owners, getting involved in every part and piece of the business, basically wearing every single hat. And at a certain point, they need to hand off tasks. Now, IT is one of those things that you really need to document, you need to understand, and there's a lot of complexity and there's quite a bit of risk. So having a technology partner help you manage that can actually be really good because you've got their niche specialized skill in that one business area. And then when you engage a technology partner, they can make recommendations on the next technology. You don't have to spend hours and hours researching what type of thing should you do here. And you might read a couple of articles, but then still get it wrong. Or you might do hours and hours of research and still stuff something up, which then could either have the potential to shut your business down or create a data breach or some serious security hazards. So it can be really important for you to ensure you've got a technology partner in your sort of ecosystem of people that service your business so that they can make sure that everything's up and running, your team run more efficiently. If there's any problems, it gets sorted really quickly and it doesn't become a major roadblock to running your business. And also, as a business scales, the needs become much more complex. Everyone's got different file sharing rules, or everyone's got different permissions, or what they can access, what they can't access. And so having a technology partner that can document, that can make recommendations, maybe give you good rates on hardware, or let's just say you got a new employee. And if we think about efficiency this way, yes, you might be paying per employee as like or sometimes you pay by device in terms of managed services. But if you're paying per employee and you hire that employee and then they need to be getting their laptop and workstation like next day or as soon as possible or within a very short time frame of preparation. Whereas in a business, you might have to go to the shop, take half a day out yourself to go buy the right laptop, or even if you order it online, there's another half day gone. And then when that employee comes in, maybe they're not hooked up to the right things. There's another like 15 hours gone trying to plug in all the right apps, turn it on, download stuff. Now, not only one person, but two people trying to sort all these IT issues. And so it becomes incredibly inefficient. But for a single user price, it's sort of baked into the everyday. And so the per user price allows a bit of scale. You might look and go, oh, well, I could have done that in 5 minutes. But the sum total of everything that happens throughout the year, you're actually more proactive. Now, ad hoc support, you're actually not incentivized to be efficient. Whoever the person is that's doing the work, they're incentivized to charge more and drag it out and make it take longer. But under managed services, it's just given that all of these things are sorted 24/7, 365. Now, there's some complexity to that as well, depending on who you choose. You can get some technology partners that are all you can eat model, and then you get some that charge for every 6 minute increment, and it becomes a little bit problematic to administer. But then, from a technology partner being able to help you to scale perspective, you can add 10 staff, 20 staff, 50 staff, and they'll be able to help you manage all of that. So I'd say there's a tipping point of when you actually need to get a technology partner in your business. And that's probably when you get to about 5 to 10 employees. It's becoming now enough that it's not quite a full-time role, but it's taking a bit of your time. So you might look to do or have a technology partner at that stage. However, it's probably more effective once you're at like 20, 30, 40 kind of staff, and you will really see the benefits. So a technology partner is really going to help you to take that business or take your business to the absolute next level. So when you're selecting a technology partner, there's some things to consider. How they price themselves. I mentioned before briefly that, some go on a per device plan, and then some go on a per user plan, and then they have a bracket around that. So per device might be you pay for a laptop, a phone. If someone else has got, 2 phones, then they might pay double, or they've got a tablet or something like that. They'll pay, per device. So it might be, doesn't matter what's connected, X dollars per month. And then once you've connected all of those things, now they have to kind of track every device to look at the serial number and say, is that covered? Is that not covered? So when you raise a support request and go, hey, something's broken here, and the idea is that they try and fix it within 2 hours or whatever your SLA or service level agreement is. But if you've got multiple devices, they've got to go through the whole thing of what device is it? Let me check. And once they've checked, then they go, yes, that's authorized to provide assistance for that. Because you don't want employees coming in and then bringing their kid's laptop to come and get fixed. Or even there's two sides to that. One is you're providing services that where it's not covered under the agreement. But 2, you're plugging potentially a external device onto the network, which then opens up a security issue. So you're much better to verify that it is a corporate device, then plug it in, or maybe if it's per user pricing, that you'll cover up to 5 devices per user or something like that. And yes, sometimes it does get that high. People think, oh, well, I've only got a laptop for work, but it might be laptop, phone, tablet. You've got a mini tab. You've got all these different devices that people can use, printers, all those sorts of things. So it's important to have a technology partner that understands what it is that you're trying to do, and that also provides you with a bit of guidance in terms of, maybe the systems that you need and the systems that you don't need, rather than trying to sell you everything. You want someone that's going to give you that strategic advice to say, all right, well, once you get to this many staff, you should look at, maybe going to a bigger server, or, anticipating those problems rather than just sort of dealing with issues as they arise. Because if you deal with it when it arises, it's already too late. Now you've got, things dropping out, people can't access things, the system is breaking. So you need to have a way to do your technology plan in such a way that you're anticipating the next issue, the next problem, and dealing with it proactively rather than reactively. Now, in an ad hoc environment, ad hoc IT environments is where something's burning down, jump on the phone, it's an emergency straight away, rather than being involved, understanding client issues, anticipating problems before they arise. So ad hoc ends up costing you a lot more than what a managed service costs you. But when you're selecting a partner, it's not always apples for apples. You've really got to look at how you're comparing the prices. They charge differently based on, whether it's an all-inclusive. I like to compare it where you're either flying Qantas or Jetstar. And if you're watching this and you're in Australia, they're 2 airlines, and one has everything included in the one price, and you know what you're getting. The other one has all these add-ons, and you have to pay for the leg room, you have to pay if you want a bottle of water, you have to pay if you want to breathe oxygen, just about, not quite. But the concept of, comparing the two, sometimes they make it a bit hard by having so many SKUs or line items of the services, which then makes it really hard for both you and them to contract manage. Hiring a staff member and having to educate them on 200 different service level types and their little code to say what it means makes it really, really confusing. Whereas if there's only a handful, it makes it so much easier to be able to understand where the time and energy goes. And ideally it should be, spent solving the client problem rather than trying to go through this giant list of, is this included or is that extra? So when comparing technology partners, you should really talk to them, understand if it's someone that you know, like, and trust, make sure that it's someone that has a little bit of a track record. Maybe I, I, I think about some types of IT people, and there's some that feel like they want to be really important and they want to be in your face all the time to show you that they're effective in doing stuff. When really the best IT is one where you don't know about it. It's in the background, it's running, nothing's breaking, no problems. You can just call them when you want to do something developmental rather than reactive. Whereas sometimes there's many an IT person that I'm very aware of that will come in and they'll say, right, you need this server, you need that, bit of hardware, and we'll connect this and we'll connect that, and then it breaks every 5 minutes, and then you've got to log in and reset something, and you're constantly on the phone. And that doesn't really work. Yes, there's an IT person, but you have an unstable environment. Yes, they're in front of you and they're visible, but they probably shouldn't be. If it's working fine, then you don't need to raise tickets. You don't have these issues and problems. Everything works fine. Everything works smoothly. So sometimes people will try to sell you certain things because they like to be that visible guy instead of the invisible one where things just work. Then you've got other issues where when you're comparing the two types of vendors, one might or include certain things in their like managed service price and then layer stuff on top. So for example, there's a few givens. If you're gonna do IT, you're gonna have a service component, and you're probably more than likely, hopefully, you're gonna have some kind of antivirus component. So all of those software platforms that they just say, we deploy this every time, no matter what, they'll sometimes include that in that service price. And then for the variable items, for example, Microsoft, because with Microsoft, you've got, basic, premium, there's a whole bunch of others. If you're in the enterprise, you get E2, E3, E4, E5, etc. So they'll add that on as a separate line item, which is good. It kind of makes it easier to track, but then, and it does make it more fair, I guess, if the price is variable. So if you've got 10 users that are only on basic and you've got one premium user, you're going to pay less instead of it all being bundled into the price no matter what, where they hide the rate for the Microsoft license, which ideally then they try to force you to have the lower level licenses so that they have higher profitability in that. So I think it's fairer if you just get the service rate and then the I guess rack rate for the Microsoft or for those variable license types. And then there's also in the case where some users will have the license or some users won't have the license. So Adobe, for example, or Adobe is the document editing platform or Nitro or something like that, where you've got a license fee, but it's only for like 2% of the total users or something like that. So that's also good as a line item so that you can just sort of charge it individually per user. And it's not hidden in the rate. So then there's others that have a really low service fee, and their service fee is not including any of that other licensing. And what they're also going to do is have all these add-ons. Oh, you want after hours, it's extra. You want someone on site, it's extra. You want someone someone advanced to do the job, that's extra. And so there's all these add-ons and add-ons and add-ons. And that's what I mean by Qantas versus Jetstar. So when you're choosing a technology partner, be aware of those, because when the add-on comes later, it's really, really hard for you to predict your spend or to be clear on what it is that your invoice is going to be. Some technology partners use the land and expand model. They will get you in and then they'll go, oh, change management. Yeah. And, I get it. We need to do scope management, change management, and sometimes the planning expands or changes. But all other times, they've really narrowly defined what the base product or service is so that there's no wiggle room. And the moment you step even like one tiny bit out, they go, it's an extra charge. And that just keeps happening and happening and happening and happening. And I think what you really want to do is find a value partner. And that may not be the cheapest. They may not be the most expensive. They may be someone who you get along with, you understand, you have a clear view of what they're doing, how they're doing it, and why they're doing it. And that can be far more important than finding the cheapest one. So, all right, the other thing to remember is you want to try and think, are these people got your best interests in heart or their own? So are they just trying to sell you a particular set of things because they get a commission? Or are they selling you a particular set of things because they find it really easy to work with, but it's not necessarily as user-friendly? So always ask the question, why do you recommend this set of solutions or platforms? For us, we work with a number of platforms and we try to have that variability so that gives us the skill and education to be able to give you a holistic perspective on your technology environment, considering a whole range of things. So rather than just going, I know this and only this, and I'm going to recommend that till the cows come home. So it's kind of like if you have a hammer, everything looks like a nail. So same thing happens in tech, believe it or not. All right. So that was a short, sharp live stream for today. If you've got any questions, please jump on to the YouTube channel and you can put them into the comments and we'll answer them there. Otherwise, you've been watching the Business Octopus. And we also have an online community called the Relevate community, where we have a ton of videos, content. There's over 180 members. And anytime you've got a question or a problem, you ask it there and we'll dive in and answer it for you. It's a little bit blended with some networking, some partners. So it's a great place to jump in and build your sort of tech skills or get answers to problems. How do I do this, for example? All right. Well, thank you for watching today. I hope you have a great weekend ahead, and